Alrighty, as we get lined up here, we're going to go ahead and do a recap on this team's last game. So we have our star players of the last time these two faced off. We have Maddie, number 3 on Lone Peak, with 5 goals in her this last matchup. We have Sadie, number 6 on Lone Peak, with 2 goals. Another player that won't be here, number 18, she had 3. And ending with Emery, number 23, with 2 goals. Lastly, Cambry with 2 as well. And then Eliza Agate, 35, with 3. That was a little longer than I thought. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, those are scores from last time. So we'll see a lot of action from them here today as Lone Peak sets up. Let's go ahead and go over and talk about Corner Canyon. Corner Canyon had the successful of getting 7 goals in this last matchup with Kat, number 11, the sophomore, with 4 goals, and number 10, Hannah, the senior, with 1 goal, along with senior Kenzie, 36, with 1 goal. So as this matchup sets up here today, we're going to be setting up with draw number 36 for Corner Canyon, which is Kenzie. And unfortunately, I can't see the Lone Peak side, but here we are for that first draw. Tonight we are playing center line is this gold. Restraining lines are blue, 8 and 12, and crease are blue as well. Outside lines, I believe, look like they are black. Early entry. The ball will be awarded to Corner Canyon. Sophie's working the ball down the field with Lone Peak already riding her with 2 defense. Back over to Kenzie on the elbow. Nice roll in and stopped. There's a flag on the play for a horizontal. Stick to body contact could possibly be this call as well, and she will be setting up outside on the 12. This is only a clearing lane opportunity, but here she is to set up. Well, this Mike's decision to pass. She passes it over. Right now, number 15, Mal, has the ball. She'll be getting a 12-meter penalty, giving her just the lane. Same situation as Kenzie was just in just a moment ago. It does look like a Kenzie kind of swapped her places, so we'll see what happens here in the next few moments. Pass is a little bit short. It does look like Corner Canyon is going to be gathering that. Right now, Catherine has the ball, which got turned over by Lone Peak in the sphere. As the Knights make the transition forward, they do have numbers ahead of them, but they are equally matched up with Corner Canyon. Beautiful shot, and it was gathered by the goalie at Corner Canyon. A little bit of one-handed action here out on the field, just having that stability, having the space to be able to move her arms faster, pump a little faster, and make her way downfield. There was a call, and she will have a self-start. This is Allison. That pass is just a little too tall for the Chargers to gather, and we're now for a 50-50 ground ball. Out of bounds and going to Lone Peak. Nice fast turnover with an open goal. Shot and just a little bit over. We'll be going back to the Knights as that was a goal. A goal is whoever gets the end line first. It is a self-start, and we'll see what happens here. Ball's on the ground. Having a little bit of hard time gathering it, but it is picked up by Lone Peak. There's some tight rides coming from the Chargers as the Knights work their way downfield. With a beautiful pass ahead, a shot and a goal. Beautiful cherry picking for number 43. Kat is, I believe, is what she goes by, the junior, for her first goal of the night. We do not have a live clock, but we're about at 21 minutes in. All right, back up to the face-off. We have Eliza for the Knights, and for the Corning Canyon, we have Kenzie. All right, that was an early entry. If you did see that there on the circle, Corner Canyon entered the circle just a little too early, making possession go to the Knights. Over to Maddie. With beautiful stick protection, she gets stopped by Corner Canyon's defense. That shot was just a little high and will be back gathered by Lone Peak as the whistle is blown for a flag. Sadie will be getting the center hash as she goes in for this 8-meter opportunity. Corner Canyon's ready to rush in on her sides. A shot and off a pipe. The pipe is the goalie's best friend as it is able to assist them in those saves. The ball is captured once again by the Knights as they are working their way hopefully in front of goal. That pass is a little bit off the mark, but it is picked up by Lone Peak. Oh. There's a little bit of a trip up there. Even though it's accidental, it is still a call. The ball will be back awarded to Lone Peak. With a nearly interception, Maddie picks up the ball and gathers that as she gets double teamed. Weaving through the defense, she gets a yellow flag, giving her the opportunity to get called for a horizontal on her defendant. She'll be getting pulled out to the 12 and have that lane open for her. She takes possession. Ball's worked around. A little bit of a question mark with a goal. Beautiful dodge as she takes that inside lane, making her way to the back of the net. Beautiful goal. Once again, that is Katarina, and that is her second goal of the night. That is 2 for her with only 2 on the board. Right now we're sitting at the Chargers with 0, and Lone Peak with 2. My apologies. Let me get that board up to date. Forgot it. Sorry about that score differential for a second there. We do have it caught back up to what we are here live on the field. Back up to the face-off. Facing off. Did a boys' term, and I've only played the girls' lacrosse. Another gathering by Lone Peak. Eliza holds possession from the draw all the way down to the 12. She tries to make her way in, but the Corner Canyon Chargers are just too strong on their defensive end. All right, there was a call for that. She'll be going back onto the dot, which is an extension from the 8. A little bit off mark as she tried to snatch that out of the air. Corner Canyon was able to gather that from the ground ball. A little bit of some collision there going in the sphere. It will be a self-start for Corner Canyon. Allie makes her way through that check. Up to Kenzie. She's passed by already 2 defense. Let's see her go by 2 more. Wind up. Whistle on the play. The ball will be staying with Corner Canyon. Kenzie will be getting the second inside for this 8-meter opportunity. Her stick was dropped low, which was able to get that check off from Lone Peak, but regathered by the Chargers. That pass was a little bit off mark, where Lone Peak was able to capitalize on that mistake and take it to their possession. Some one-handed cradling as we work their way downfield. All right, we have Sophie, the senior, setting up for a center hash for an 8-meter opportunity. It looks like she's going to be running it in, protecting her stick. I was incorrect. That was a beautiful goal for the 2 steps and a beautiful sail to the back of the net. Amazing job by number 22, Lone Peak, Sophie. All right, we have a timeout on the board. We're going to go ahead and take this timeout with them. We'll be back in just a moment.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to
All right, welcome back from that timeout. I do want to apologize. I was incorrect. It was number 23 for that third goal, Emery, the junior. Liza Gate is up here for center as Kenzie does approach to take that draw. Lone Peak has been favored for here at the draw, so hopefully Corner Canyon was able to have a conversation there, gather their team together to see what they can do because, you know, the old saying goes, you win the draw, you win the game, right? That draw was good with no early entry. The ball is live for a 50-50 ground ball. Push was called. It will be awarded to Corner Canyon. The senior Kenzie will pick it up. The second whistle is because they have to have it passed to the correct player. I apologize. It's to number 4. Sophie will be the one starting with the ball for the self-start. Little off mark as we rush into all those players. Cover. So that is a new rule here with girls lacrosse. A goalie can cover outside of her crease if there's no one in playing range. There was definitely players in playing range, so that is going to be considered a cover and given back to Corner Canyon on the dot. That will be to number 1, Ashlyn. It is a whistle start as we are in the CSA on the dot, which is the extension of the 8. All right, off that whistle start, we have the ball starting to work behind cage and over to elbow. Up to Kenzie as she tries to break through 4 defense. The ball gets jostled loose and picked up by Lone Peak. Number 14, Courtney, or Corey, I apologize. Picked up by Maddie. But there's a little bit of some jostling done in that scrum. The ball is awarded, I believe, for a push going to Corner Canyon. Mia will be starting with the ball, and it is a self-start for her. That player got a little bit baited, and the interception was made for the Knights. Maddie works the ball downfield with a fast break with defense ahead of her. She's able to keep control. Ball pushed loose with a push on the call. Senior, Maddie, number 3. Lone Peak will be setting up for the center hash. Oh, I apologize. She'll be going back to the 8 and only clearing the lane. Nice stick work. Defense swarms her. Across the body is the call. And now we'll be setting up at that center hash. A shot and a save. Just a little bit off that pipe off wall. Going out, getting gathered back by the Knights. Working that inside. Defense is able to collapse down on her. The cover did happen. It's going to be going out of bounds, or out of the 8, meaning it will be a self-start for the Chargers. Plays begun with a nice little dodge. Check behind, called for in the sphere. Kenzie works that over to the right side of goalie onto elbow, all the way back to behind X. It is called X because you cannot shoot back there. It's kind of a dead space. She keeps control all the way across the field as she passes it off to Sophie. Taking that pressure, popping out, able to pass it over to Kat. Working that ball around that 12. Challenging the Lone Peak defense a little bit. All right, we're seeing the weave going on. Off that weave is trying to jumble up that defense a little bit, get that ball moving, get the opportunities to play. Kenzie Zimmerman. In the sphere. It'll be going back to the 12. For any fouls that happen between the 12 and the 8, they do have to get pulled back to the 12 and having that lane cleared, as we've seen a few times here tonight. Kenzie will be approximately center hash up on the 12 as that lane is cleared for her. Little draw and dump. Shot and a save off the goalie. Regathered by Corner Canyon. Nice little pop pass. Across the body is the call. Stopping the clock. All right, we are awarding the first yellow card of the night to Lone Peak for a check to the head. That player will be sitting out for 2 minutes while the play as the game plays on, and she'll be allowed back in the game after her 2 minutes are done. All right, we're set up here at the 8 for the center hash, the 8-meter opportunity. Everyone is ready for the play. Shot and a goal! The first goal for the Chargers of the night, scored by Hannah, the senior, for her first goal for Corner Canyon's game of the night. All right, as we re-enter to this circle, we have Kenzie Zimmerman setting up for that circle. The team, Lone Peaks, had to adjust just a little bit because they do have that player off field for that penalty. We have the draw set up here, and let's see what happens. Beautiful draw. And gathered by the Knights. That was a little bit jostled through, dropped on the ground, and picked up by the Chargers. I'm not sure what that call was, but as we saw, that player obviously was on the ground gaining position for the Chargers. All right, we can hear play getting called down on the field as that ball crosses around the 12. All right, the whistle was blown. There was an accidental call for offsides. There was a Maddie over here a little bit more towards the sideline, which was unfortunately missed by the count. It will be a whistle start, I believe. Actually, I know that. It will be a whistle start. Beautiful pass. Knocked away. Cover awarded to the Knights. Smart decision. She passes it over to the goalie. The goalie can clear a lot longer, a lot further than a lot of field players, so it's a smart decision. Okay, I believe what I'm seeing here is there was a little bit of an over and back in the crease. It wasn't challenged, or the ball wasn't passed or passed back into her or dropped back in the crease, so the ball gets awarded to the Chargers on the dot. The penalty has been released for Lone Peak. Even numbers, she tries to charge in. A double whistle, meaning a card will be issued. Unfortunately, it was a check to the head. It does look like she's holding her head. But Mal is going to be setting up for a second inside 8-meter opportunity. That will be the Knights' second yellow card of the night. by 2 different players. Here we are, Mel, number 15, the senior, set up for that second inside on the whistle. Winds up, a shot and a goal for our senior. Mal got her first goal of the night, putting the Chargers at 2, and the guest, Olympus, still at 3. All right, as we set up for this goal, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the teams here. We do have Utah rankings going on right now, and as we do through the whole season, Lone Peak is sitting at number 3 with Corner Canyon trailing just behind in 5th place. Here for the 6A region, we have Lone Peak in 1st place for 6A, and we have Corner Canyon just falling behind in 3rd place. So this is a very tight competition as we set up here on the field. As we see, there's already a 1-point gift differential only a few moments into the game. The whistle is blown, the draw has been taken, and Kenzie Zimmerman will be the one blasting off down into the attacking end for the Chargers. Pass forward, ungathered, and regathered by the Chargers. Okay. Unsure of the foul, but somebody is getting moved 4 meters behind, waiting for that whistle start. Pass a little bit off mark. The Knights were able to pick it up on that defending end inside the 8. Lots of great sit work as she tries to work that ball down to the attacking end. Emory has possession. Okay, ball's on X. They're trying to probably run out this card a little bit, get some passing around, let the clock wind down on that yellow card. They want to hold possession as much as possible so they're not manned down on their defending end and rather on their attacking end. The long pass up to Maddie. And they have done their job by holding possession as the card has been released. A little bit off mark. Regathered by Lone Peak. Corey has the ball right now as they're trying to do a little bit of a weave, passing around over to Maddie. Attempt for a draw and dump. Corner Canyon was able to hold Maddie out to defend the goal. Beautiful drive inside lane. That shot was saved. Possession will be made by the Knights. Right as the player enters the field and does not have someone around her like you see here, it is a self-start. A shot and a goal. That surprised us all. Beautiful contact, taking it light and easy, taking that little bit of a dodge to the inside and selling it to the back of the net. Beautiful goal. That was number 23, Emery. That sets her at 2 goals for the night. That matches her up with Katarina. Two-point differential as we set up for the draw. Approximately about 5 minutes left in this first half. Draw's been released and gathered by the Knights. Maddie takes control. Nice little dodge trying to get that defender on her heels. Nice tuck dodge. Breaking her way through so many defense. A flag is on the play. It looks like it was a trip was what just got called. Maddie's goggles got knocked loose. She's putting those back on as she makes her way back up to the center hash. Maddie Poffit. A shot and a little bit too high for that goal. That was super smart by Lone Peak's player back there, allowing the ball to go out and being the first on the line. That means she gets that possession as that ball gets... no, just kidding. Corner Canyon gets that possession as his first off the line. My apologies on that. Sophie works the ball upfield for the Chargers. Nice little screen, giving her a little bit of space. Ashley takes the ball, back to X. Mallory has the ball just above the first inside. Definitely settling down, getting ready for something. A little low for that pass. Unfortunately, that was not a call. She did just slide, but that was captured and gathered by the Knights. Pass a little off mark for a 50-50. It will be picked up by the Chargers. Self-start strategy enters the field. Ball being worked forward. Nice knockdown for the Knights. That was Brooke being able to knock that down. The ball goes out of bounds and awarded to the Chargers. Oh, maybe not. We lost the ball. All right, I apologize. It is going to be going to the Knights. Sometimes those signals get mixed up a little bit, but the Knights do take it as they charge down to the field. Nice little dodge, protecting your stick. Corner Canyon slides to that double team as she pulls out. Emery has possession. Corner Canyon's playing some sealed defense, not allowing anybody through. and no picks are happening. Taking that pressure, trying to find that lane. Lane was taken away. That was some beautiful defense done by Sophie, keeping her stick in the proper range. Body-to-body contact, greatly done on defense. Got a little tripped up, but that's a shot and a goal! Beautifully done by the Lone Peak. Emery for her first goal, I apologize, from her third goal of the night. All right, we have about 9 seconds left in the half. So right off the draw, we'll see what happens here in these next few seconds. But we do have our guest, Lone Peak, at 5 goals, and our Chargers at 2. Reading just got subbed into the game. Talked a little bit about with Matt Kenny before, and she wasn't feeling too good. So hopefully she's feeling all right as she enters back into the game. Beautiful draw and great capture for Lone Peak. Sydney carried that downfield as the game did come to the end for the halftime. We're going to go ahead and take this break with them, and we'll be back with you in a few moments.
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com. It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
Sorry about that, guys. This is my first time on by myself, so what we were seeing out there is some Lone Peak dancers, players dancing around. Not sure what's getting awarded, what's happened here, but Lone Peak is getting awarded the draw at the start of the game. Oh, it's because of the check to the head, I believe. Nice speed as we work down to the attacking end for Lone Peak. We are offsides for Corner Canyon. That's what that whistle is. The ref was just a little bit off camera, but she was holding the fist in the air, which means offsides. They do have to adjust that, and it will be a whistle start for the Chargers. Nice drive, pass, shot, beautiful Twizzler. Did not capture into the back of the net, but it is going to be picked up by Lone Peak behind goal. A nice pass. Try to get a shot, didn't happen to get there, but re-picked up by Lone Peak. Beautiful pass center. Smart, keeping possession. A little bit off mark. Nice one-on-one. All right. So this is unfortunately another yellow card for a check to the head. Lauren will be awarded the ball at the first inside for an 8-meter opportunity. While number 51 from Corner Canyon, Sadie, will be sitting out for a 2-minute penalty. She gears up for this second inside hash. Beautiful rolled shot, but gathered by the goalie. Beautifully done, getting that pass over into the center lane. Shot and a goal. A little bit of a bouncer shot. Great job by the Knights. Number 3, Maddie for her first goal of the night. That does put our Lone Peak Knights at 6 and our Corner Canyon Chargers still at 2. Got some good songs going on out here. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but got some good music here. All right, back to the draw. Beautiful self-draw for Lone Peak. Eliza Gate, passing the ball center to Maddie. Shot and a save. Second save. Crease violation. It will be the goalie's ball. Once that player gets behind, she's able to self-start, in which she did. Out of bounds, getting picked up by the Knights. Lauren here with it. Nice little roll. Ball jostled away. Beautifully done. Way to take that pressure, finding that open lane, turning back, get her arms free, and selling that ball to the back of the net. Beautifully done. And that was by Katarina for her third goal of the night. Not quite a hat trick. The hat trick has to be in one half or the other, but good enough for me. Beautifully done. Taking a second to set up. Sometimes it's hard to get that ball center sticks aligned. Redraw. So redraw can go for many reasons. It looked like for that one, it was not able to get above the player's shoulders, and not both players, or maybe both players did not push it upwards. All right, there was a double whistle just to ensure that we did get that clock stopped. It was unfortunately still running for a moment there. We are sitting at 22 minutes. Beautiful direction on the draw as Kenzie Zimmerman picks it up and tries to make her way to her attacking end. That will be a call, moving 4 meters away as she self-starts. With a lot of drive and tenacity, she tries to dodge around 1, 2 defenders and finds her way behind X. Keeping great contact as they were up numbers on defense. Nice save. And a pickup with a Twizzler shot. Beautifully done. Way to capitalize on those moments in that space and the goalie looking up. Beautiful goal. Alrighty, this game is picking up some speed as we have our Chargers now at 3 goals. Great direction on that draw. Hold. Ball will be going to the Chargers. Player does have to go 4 behind. It will be a self-start for Allison. Great stick work as she dodges through. Shooting space. Giving her an 8-meter opportunity. On the second inside. So shooting space, it is when you are further than a stick length away from the attacking player. Protection shot and a goal. Beautiful goal for Allie Reading. This will be her first of the night, taking us up for another goal for the Chargers, putting them at 4 to Lone Peak 7. I don't know what was said of that halftime in that Chargers circle, but something was said correctly to get these players back on the field with some high energy and the drive to goal. All right, we are back to Eliza and Kenzie up on circle. Great hide on that. An empty was what's called. Possession will be given to Chargers. That pass a little bit off mark. Able to stop and keep possession with the Chargers. Sophie with the ball, trying to work her way through a double team. As we make the laps, the ball is passed over to Sophie. She tries to challenge it and passes it out. With a lot of movement, defense is trying to find their placement. Cat with the ball. With the triple team, she pulls out. Looks for that pass, but Lone Peak was able to knock it away and pick it up for a great turnover. And that was Corey. The transition is looking pretty flawless with Maddie running upfield. Across the body is what the call is. It will be going back to Maddie, number 3, Lone Peak. She'll be going on the 12 with the lane set to goal. Keeping that possession with protection. Great breakthrough shot and a save. Push. Plays continues on. Ball was dropped and picked up by the Knights. Sadie will be carrying that downfield. Little off mark. As the ball does trickle off field, it will be picked up by the Chargers. This is time that they should really capitalize on with having their other teammates spread out and find that opening and that outlet pass. Ball was dropped. Going to Lone Peak. Because it's hard to see right there, but it did drop out of bounds. Great defending defense. That was an amazing turnover. Be able to tip that off a little bit to get the challengers back to their attacking end. Kenzie Zimmerman with her fast speed. Zimmerman's seen a lot of time on the turf today. Hopefully get her back on her feet for that self-start. Not quite there. Picked up and turned over by Lone Peak. Great pass ahead. Recaptured. All right, that was in the sphere, as most of us saw. She's got to move forward behind. It will be a self-start for the Chargers. Breaking her way through 2 Knights. Allie Reading tries to find her way through. Lone Peak is playing a backer defense in those moments. All right, there is a whistle on the play. She'll be going out to the center house 12, opening up that lane. She does have a wide open field on that left side. Lone Peak does close it off. Pass and goal. That was an amazing play. I did not see that coming at all. Allie Reading down over to Hannah for Hannah's second goal of the game. Beautifully done and way for deception. All right, we do have a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take this with them.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential, now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit one of our 5 locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
All right, welcome back from that timeout. We are sitting with Lone Peak at 7, Corner Canyon at 5. Lone Peak has had 3 different scores, 3 goals from Emery, 3 goals from Katarina, and 1 goal from Maddie. On the flip side, we do have, unfortunately, I was not able to catch one of the players' numbers. Allison with 1, Hannah with 2, Mal with 1, and then that one player, I apologize once again, I did not catch the number and name on that. Facing off here at the draw. Great draw. Great direction. Beautiful capture by Hannah. Pass a little bit off mark. Ball's increased, picked up by the goalie. Offsides. I think she got a little bit mixed up because some fields, they use the 30 as the restraining line. Here it is drawn with that blue line. Ball will be back over to Hannah with Corner Canyon. Challenging it, roll dodge, breakthrough, great save by Lone Peak. Across the body, the ball will be going back to Corner Canyon for an 8-meter opportunity. All right, that will be Mal setting up for that second inside 8-meter opportunity. Oh, I apologize. First inside for the 8-meter opportunity. She's a right-handed player, so let's see how this plays out. Shot and a goal. No goal. All right, that was in the sphere, so she will be setting back up for her first inside 8-meter opportunity. Shot just a little high, but captured by Corner Canyon. Lots of movement out there on that field. 3 seconds. So that means a defender is standing inside of the 8 for 3 seconds, just blocking space, not marking up and being effective as a defender. So she does get pulled behind for that unfair play while it does self-start, or whistle start. Flag on the play in the sphere. We'll be setting up on the 12. The lane is getting cleared for her. Nice pickup. With a lot of flying sticks, the ball stays with Eliza. All right, ball's behind gate, behind cage. Looks like they may be looking for some cutters. See what's about to happen. We do have it back with Emery. Maddie is possessing the ball at the moment. Taking that time, we do have 11 minutes on this half. Good job on defense for keeping them out. We are back with Emery. Ball behind cage. Open crease roll. Defense was able to keep her out. For times like this, possession is key. Wait for the perfect opportunity for you and your team to get that goal. That was a horizontal stick-to-body contact, either or. It will be going back to Lone Peak. A little bit off mark there, but it is captured and gathered behind goal with Lone Peak. Nice roll. Defense keeping her out. Stick to body contact. All right, this was the first one for the night. It will be on the hanging hash with 8-meter opportunity. She's a right-handed player, so this isn't too shabby of a spot. And this is Corey with ball on the 8. Shot and a save. Picked up by Lone Peak in the sphere. Staying with Lone Peak. Staying with Corey. Flawless play. Beautifully done. That's a great assist. A little bit of a dodge, pulling her stick down low and through, and selling that ball to the back of the net. Beautifully done. And that was done by the one and only Eliza Agate, first of the game. After another amazing goal for Lone Peak, we are sitting at 8-5. All right, a little bit passed around for a second there, but it was picked up by Lone Peak. Ellie. Shot just a little bit outside of cage. That was Camry. Out to Zimmerman. Up to Allie Reading. Great interception. The ball will be staying with Lone Peak as the defendant moves 4 behind. Sadie moves the ball upfield. Transitioning it over to Maddie. A shot and just a little outside. A lot of power behind that. Picked back up by Lone Peak. Great job defense for keeping her out. Stick to body contact. The ball will be staying with the Knights. All right, we're setting up for that 8-meter opportunity center hash. A shot and a save off pipe. Just off that crossbar, the ball has not been possessed. Knocked out of bounds, it will be taken by Olympus. I apologize, that was way wrong. Corner Canyon. I don't know where that came from, I apologize. This is a self-start. Just waiting for her teammates to get in positioning. All right, that was checked away. Defender will be moving 4 behind as Sicily had the ball. Maya works her way forward. Ball dropped in the 8. All right, stick to body contact is what is getting called. All right, we're setting up at the 12 for the lane opportunity. And this is with Mia. Great possession, pass forward, a shot and a save. I don't know what. Okay, all right, the ball will be going to Corner Canyon, back on the dot. A false start. The ball will be going to Lone Peak. She'll be starting on the dot with the self-start. So on the defending end, you can self-start. On the attacking end, you must wait for the whistle. When you're inside the CSA as an attacker, it is a whistle start. Offsetting fouls. So if you see the official, she kind of made a T with her arms. That means an offsetting foul. The ball will be staying with Lone Peak as they must have won the coin toss. Another situation there is a whistle start is on offsetting fouls. Maddie with a nice dodge, breaking her way through 2 defense, a shot and a Goal. No goal. Shooting space. Okay, so a major foul like that with the shooting space. No goal. Correct call. Good call. Going to pull her back out to the center hash for an 8-meter opportunity. Hopefully she can get that goal back for him. This is Maddie. Little tuck. Ball was knocked loose. And the sphere. This time she ran it in, setting back up onto that center hash to see if she runs it in or if she's going to rip it from the 8. Only time will tell. That was a rip it, and the goalie did save it. Great clear forward, flawless. Even numbers as they work their way to the attacking end. This is working down with Hannah. Shot and a goal! Beautiful assist, beautiful spot in the middle side of the 8, turning and ripping that to the back of the 8. That is her second goal of the night for Kat. So Kat, she makes her 2 goals tonight. She started out tonight with 49 goals. That now puts her up to 51 goals for the season. Congratulations. We are going to be taking the timeout with the team.
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
Alrighty, as we enter this timeout, we are having only a 2-point differentials with our home Chargers. We have 6 goals. With our visitors, the Knights, we have 8 goals. Something that's actually really unique with Lone Peak is, as I was looking through their stats, there is 17 players before tonight's game, that had 13 ground balls each. That is such a level playing team. Excellent. All right, we have 2 minutes and about 50 seconds to go. Beautiful high draw. It was captured by Kenzie, but it looks like there was a push. Ball is going to Corner Canyon. So that second whistle is just to pull the player, or put the ball back to the correct player. Find their way forward, finds an opening, a shot and a goal. A beautiful cell a few feet inside of the 8. Great job. And that was the one and only senior, Hannah, for her 3rd goal of the night. That was such a great shot, great velocity, great tenacity, great power, all of it. Well done, child. All right, this puts us at a 1-point differential as we reset up for the draw. We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. That's amazing how fast this game can go. Last time we talked out here at center, we got 2 minutes and 50 something seconds. So that's how fast it shows that the women's lacrosse can play. We already got a goal, and here we are back at the draw. The whistle's blown. Ball captured by Kenzie. Nice assist. Jarred loose. Great protection as she pulls it out. Sophie has ball. A block. Going the opposite side. That's exactly what that trail ref's for. She is there to watch everything off of ball, and that is exactly what that call was, and beautifully done. It is a self-start. With only a minute 40 to go, the Knights work their way down to their attacking end with only 1 point differential. Let's see what happens. Taken by behind X. Stopping the clock. Was that a timeout? Okay, the timeout was called. I'm sorry, I did not process that, I guess. Timeout is called. We'll go ahead and take this with them for just a moment.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential, now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit one of our 5 locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit.
All right, welcome back from that timeout. We have a minute and 23 seconds left, a 1 point differential here with the Corner Canyons. We have 7 goals. And with our Lone Peak Knights, we have 8 goals. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. We have 8 goals. We're going to be setting back up where the timeout happened. That would be behind cage with the possession being made by Lone Peak. With it being a timeout, it will be a whistle start. They're playing tight defense, allowing no space between them and the players, or the attackers. Corner Cannon staying strong on that one-on-one. Pressuring as far out away from that cage as she possibly can. She does not want Cameron to get a goal. What in the world did we just see there? That goalie just went back over sides for a double team on ball because they know Lone Peak is wanting that possession. If they can get that double team on ball and have that goal open, why not? Why not put another field defender outside of ball when that ball's in a situation right there? In the sphere, staying with Lone Peak. We'll see if that goalie decides to cross back over or not. All right, that was a check. We got 14 seconds to go. Counting down about 5 seconds. No goalie. She shoots and she gets a goal. I mean, why not? The wide open, beautifully done. Might as well get that extra point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the game as we count it down right after that goal. Congratulations to both teams. Lone Peak taking the second win with 9 goals against Corner Canyon's 7. Overall, both teams had a really well-played game. Let's go ahead and do players of the game. Let's flip it over first to Lone Peak. With it being such an even-played game, so many players with goals and opportunities here. For me, I think Emery did an amazing job. I think that's who I want to pick as the MVP of this game. She's had great stick work, great goals. Overall, just a phenomenal player. Flipping the field over to Corner Canyon. Let's go ahead. And is there anyone else other than Hannah? Hannah had 3 goals tonight, which were beautifully done. She had that top shelf goal. That was great. Overall, great night, and thank you so much.